there. Okay, how's this? Sorry, guys, I have my mic muted. Apologize for that. There should be audio now. How about now? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so I was actually just testing just to see if you guys could hear me. Okay, no, just kidding. I have my mic muted by accident, and so. Anyways, what I just want to say, welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks for joining me here. Today we're going to talk about the new season that's coming out for Legendary. So they've really sort of moved into this new thing where it's all about seasons now, and it is now a new season called Twin Flames. And so with the new season, that means all of the historical coins that we collected are now converted into loyalty coins. All right, so the first thing you'll notice is that you should have more loyalty tokens now for your loyalty store. That's the first thing. But if you take a look here, I don't think I saw anything that is really different in these loyalty stores, especially if you're non-VIP. So basically, this is all you have access to if you're not VIP, and it's really not anything different. Right, and so yes, you do get those converted to loyalty coins, but to me, I kind of feel like you don't really get that much stuff here. And so let's see, we got quite a few people that are saying hi here. So we got Melvin, BBX, Sandra, and Jeff, Leslie, Mr. Hawklands, and James Bartz. We've also got Kiwi, Rockdeed, Angel, Noelia, exactly. And earlier on, we had Chimion and John Wilson. So nice to see you guys in the stream here. And let's see. So exactly is the only place for Ascension Stones. That is true. I guess this is where you could get these stones. But again, if you're not VIP, you're not going to be able to get these Pentarch gems either. I guess Pentarch gems is only for legends. And if you needed to send your wardens, I suppose that is the one place. So I guess that's a good point there. I haven't ascended my wardens in so long, I haven't really thought about that. Anyways, so things to look forward to. It is a new season, so that means, they mentioned that they're going to give gifts. And the way that you're going to be receiving this gift round is you're going to get 10 free coins by subscribing to VIP. So if you subscribe for VIP between now and end of the event, so you have 6 days and 19 hours as of right now to subscribe. As soon as you subscribe, you're going to get the 10 coins. So it's up to you whether you think it's worth it or not. It's basically $30 for 10 coins. And honestly, like 10 coins is less than a quarter of a card. And so to me, I just kind of feel like it was a lot worse than the gift that was given before, where as a VIP, you got an actual ultra rare card. So to me, like they kind of hyped it up to be something like, hey, VIPs get something really, really special. But I don't really feel like it was anything that extraordinary. Right? So anyways, let's see. So what we got going on here, we got people pulling Volt but didn't get much luck. Well, let's talk about the deck here. Right? Let's talk about the deck and sort of see, like, is this a deck that you should be excited about? And I've taken a look, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but we can do a quick breakdown. But basically, this deck has some elements of Gem Destroy, some element of Gen Fall, but doesn't feel like it's really doesn't really feel like a specific meta type of deck. And I'll explain why I say that. So we'll start with the ultimate form. This is the Headstrong Sirens. It is Chaotic Killer card. And so you could actually use the previous Water Slayer deck from the previous season because it's also a Water Killer deck. And you can also use the Water Dragon deck if you have that from a long time ago when we had the Water Commander event. So those are some of the cards that you can also use. So Headstrong Sirens is a card that does the following. It destroys 8 non-water gems. All right, it doesn't actually increase more than that. It heals for 700% for every gem you destroy. So basically, you can heal for 700%. It's a guarantee that you're going to destroy 8 gems. All right, because it's already stated there. So you're going to heal for a total of 5,600%. So from a healing perspective, it's actually not too bad. And they've gone back to using the word moderately. Now, moderately was, I remember it being converted to a percentage a long time ago. It was never clear. I think moderately is like something like 30% or something like that, right? And so there's like 30%, and it lasts for 3 turns. So that means from the time that you activate it for 3 turns onwards, you're always going to have an increase in your gem drop. Now, it does increase, like that effect will increase as your intensity goes up. And it goes for every stack of intensity. Now, it's not clear exactly what that means. If you go up to like 1,000 intensity, what does that mean? Like, they don't give you the numbers here, so it's really hard to say. But I guess all I can say is this is one of those decks where as you go up in intensity, the more gems will fall after you do a match, but there's no guaranteed numbers here. Okay. It also creates power gems, but because it heals, it also is weak to toxin. Like most of the decks nowadays, they're always weak to toxin because they always have some heal associated with it. So this is definitely one of those. And exactly, you're saying it's also the passive destroy. I'm not sure I'm not sure that the passive destroy will work in this case, because the battle skill and the passive skill don't actually behave at the same time. I think the battle skill will only be active when you activate it, and your passive skill would only occur once you attack. So I'm not sure that they actually would actually combine together. But anyways, so this card will also create power gems, and it can create 1 for every additional chaotic killer intensity. So there are actually 3 cards in this deck that can create multiple power gems. That's going to be the ultimate form, the ultra rare, and the master collection card. So the 3 of them combined, you can actually get a pretty good power gem output. And it's a 3-turn deck, so it's not too bad, right? It's just that we've seen the Gem Destroy deck before, with the Dark Dragon, and also with the Earth one, like the Taurus deck, where they actually destroy everything. We've seen sort of this like partial Gem Destroy. I don't really like the partial Gem Destroy thing. It just doesn't quite make sense to me. Because you don't really feel the effect that much, right? And so it's kind of like, what's the point of having that gem destroy if you're only going to destroy 8 of them? So I'm not really sure what the whole purpose is. I guess it makes it so your total gem fall is a little bit faster, but it doesn't. I don't know. Like, I could do without it. That's basically what I'm saying. And so now we come to the ultra rare card, which is Lightness of the Sea. So Lions of the Sea will also increase the drop rate of your gems. So I believe they stack, right? So if you have multiple copies of these cards, they will actually stack so that you can actually get more gem drops. And so your ultra rare card and your ultimate form should combine together. And this is the card that also creates 4 power gems. So if you look at the power gem creation, ultra rare card, ultimate form, so far that's 10. We're going to take a look at the Master Collection card. That's another 4. So right off the bat on turn 2, you should expect 14 Power Gem Force to be created based on the based on the battle skills. And that's all it does, right? It basically increases the drop rate, and it will also create power gems. Its passive ability is what is going to be good, in that it will give you a chaotic killer attack boost of 1300. I actually should point out that the ultimate form also has the same passive, and so this is going to be a card that will be useful. Unfortunately, you can't turn this around because we had the Slayer event first. Okay, so we had the Water Slayer event earlier in the last season, so you can't use this card to boost another chaotic killer card for a long time. Otherwise, I would say this is a really good card to boost your chaotic killer bonus for future Slayer events, but we already had it last event. And so you should expect for at least the next 4 events, you're not going to see chaotic killer again. So don't expect to see a water chaotic killer slayer event anytime soon. So this is going to be less useful for future purposes. So that's one thing that's very important to keep in mind. But for now, you should see the passive ability give you also a 1600%. So if you combine the two, it's going to be 1600 plus the ultra rare card. So using the 2 cards together, you should expect a attack boost of 2900%, which is a little bit higher than a single boost from Circuit Break Hilaria. Okay, remember last event, Circuit Break Hilaria. I said last event when I meant last season for the Water Slayer. Last event was the Fire Slayer event where we used Circuit Break Hilaria. We got really big damage output. This would have had similar effects, except we don't have the Chaotic Killer Water Slayer anymore. So let's see. There's a question here. You got an MC on tier I went pull 3 golds of 2 melee plus 1 campos. Oh, so close on getting the ultra rare card. Melvin, do their other passive make a large difference? So the other passive, like I was mentioning, the attack damage boost will make a difference, because once you get into like the thousands and whatnot, it does make a difference, especially if you combine all of the commander bonus. It will make your damage a lot more significant, like higher than if you didn't activate it. But because it's a passive, you don't have to do anything, and that's the nice thing, is that it's a passive ability, so you're always going to so this deck will in general outperform other commander decks in a similar caliber, because you will have this passive ability and it stacks. So it's one of those decks where, again, more ultra rare cards means more damage output. So if you want more damage output, more ultra rare cards from this deck is going to do better. The Master Collection card is the one that is going to heal and destroy gems, but like this one, you can literally do like no gem destroy. You just straight up heal. Like you could just straight up heal. You don't have to worry about the water gem destroy and then create the power gems. Like it kind of, like I said, like I don't see the whole point here. It just kind of feels like it's an extra thing, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. And it will also destroy 2 non-power water gems whenever it attacks. So the Master Collection card in this case is a lot weaker than the ultra rare card. Okay, so if you were to pick and choose like which one should you get extras of, I would say get the extras of the ultra rare card. The Master Collection card is so-so for me. In that, yes, it creates power gems. It has the same ability as the ultra rare card, but the ultra rare card is far more superior because it has the ability to give you a damage boost, in my opinion. Okay, there's no other passive, so that's pretty much it. If you take a look at the support card and the event cards, though, that is where I have a problem with this deck overall. The support card, Luciana Siren, it moderately increases the drop rate of water gem for 3 turns. That's it. Like I could literally, like there are so many other cards that do exactly the same thing. It destroys 2 gems, and it moderately increases the drop rate. Like it's literally there to do nothing, because drop rate of water gems, yes, it's good, but it doesn't stack on its own because based on intensity. You pair it with other cards that destroy gems, but they don't destroy the board. So you're not really benefiting from it too much. Like think about it. What happens if you max out this so that there's this guaranteed gem drop? You can only destroy about like 8 or so, right? If you activate another card. So you guarantee that you're gonna have 8 water gems. Like to me, this is I have an issue with this deck mostly because it feels really off balance. It feels off balance because the support card is very useless on its own. Think about a player that doesn't have the ultra rare card or the Master Collection card. This card is useless. Yes, you could argue that you could use it in some situations, and so you'll want to pair it with other cards, but there are other cards that literally do much better job at what it's supposed to do than this card itself. Okay, so like if you want to talk about like a gemfall card, there are cards that are much better as a gemfall card. This card is not a very good gemfall card. So to me, it's like it kind of does a half job of what it's supposed to, and so I don't really like this. And then we have the event card, which is supposed to be something that you can get, on turn 4. And we've seen some great event cards up to this point. We've seen some really awesome event cards that are really useful. You have a 25% chance of collecting this card from the event, and this destroys 8 non-water gems. That's all. It destroys 8. So you pair the event card with a support card, and this is what you get. You basically have a moderate chance to increase the water gem to be dropped after you destroy those 8 water gems. So you activate the support card, then you activate the event card, you destroy 8 gems with the event card, and you have a chance to maybe get like 3 to 4 water gems dropped from that. It is the most useless combination of 2 cards I have seen in a long time in a deck that sort of has like, hey, if you get the ultimate form, if you get the ultra rare card and the Master Collection card, you're actually gonna have a pretty good damage output. You're set. You get just this, you get a bunch of support cards. Like you get all support cards, you can't do nothing because you'll generate basically you generate nothing, right? You can do like a single match, and maybe you put in an event card. you're gonna have to bring in some other cards to generate the power gens for you or destroy the board for you, because these two aren't going to do it. So we have this dichotomy of really good powerhouse deck that is going to be a combination of just Ultimate Form, Ultra Rare card, and the Master Collection card. And then you have this two useless cards, the support card and event card, that will absolutely do nothing for you. And so I'm not impressed, and I'm a little unhappy about this particular breakdown of the balance. Like, they've shifted the power all completely to the Ultra Rare card and the Master Collection card, and they've left nothing for the event card and the support card. They've basically taken like the worst of the two abilities and just stuck it into two cards that most people have access to. And that is a forcing factor, if you will, to make a deck building exercise. Because like, imagine if you only have those cards, what are you going to do? You're going to have to build other decks around it. So yes, we will have a deck building exercise around it, but I kind of feel like it's for more of a forcing function. Excuse me. It's more of a forcing function rather than a creative sort of outlet. Excuse me, guys. So having said that, part of the thing is I will open a couple of decks here, pack a couple of tiers here. With 4,000 gems, I'm expecting to go up to tier 3. That is all I'm going to go up to. I'm not going to be able to afford the event card, but honestly, I don't even want it. Okay? And so I'm going to take a look and see what we get, mostly because I want the coins. So we're going to get 3 coins here. I'm going to get gem gift, and we're going to see what I get with a single card. Now, VIP actually does have an improved benefit in that you're going to get 2 new cards. So for being VIP, your tier 1 value is actually tremendously high. You're going to get 3 cards for 1 pull, whereas non-VIPs gets 1 card. And so that is, there is increased value for low tiers this event. Okay, so like tiers 1, 2, really good value for the gems worth because of the number of cards that you get. So like if you take a look in tier 2, you're gonna get, you're gonna get 3 cards total, 1 guaranteed, but then you get another 2 cards. So being non-VIP in this event actually is a little bit of a disadvantage compared to somebody who is VIP, because they have that many more chances to pull a good card. So whether or not that is an incentive enough for you to go after VIP or not, that's up to you. But note that these are some of the perks that they've added. And so I think tier 1, we just got a shield. So let's see what we get in tier 2. So we get useless card number 1, Lucana, Bold Siren. That is literally a card that I'm going to use just for the 400% bonus. But I'm not expecting to do really well with these cards, to be honest with you. All right, we're gonna have to explore some other ways to do it. Now let's go to tier 3 and see what we get. I think at least with tier 3, I get a relic. So there's at least a relic that I can get. So that is at least going to be useful, because I could probably cobble up something with like the Slayer card. And so here is the relic as I expected, and I should get 2 more cards in this tier. So let's see what we get. So that is the soul for the relic. And let's see, so we get key and we get a hammer, and I believe I get another relic. So this is sort of my luck so far has been I usually get relics. Like, if have you noticed I usually get 2 relics by tier 3? So that is definitely my luck here. Not getting the Ultra Rare card or the Master Collection card this event, so that's going to be a little bit tougher for me. For sure, especially given like what the support card does, right? Support card does nothing. There are other cards that we can pair up with, but like I said, there are so many better cards that do what it's supposed to do that I just kind of feel like it's just there for decoration. It's just there for the skill. Like that's basically what it's there for, right? And so pretty sad pulls this time around. I'm going to save the rest of my gems for the Revival Vault. All right, so the Revival Vault tomorrow, I'm going to pull again 2 other tiers so that I can at least get another 6 coins. So if you're a VIP player, you're going to get the 10, and there's going to be 6 from the event. Then if you do at least 2 tiers, that's another 6. Revival, that's another 6. 12 plus 6, 18, 28. So you're going to have 28 just by pulling a couple of tiers at the end of this event. Still not enough to craft a card this event until you go further, but it should at least help you guarantee one by next event. This event deck, what I will say is, if you have it, use it because it's going to be good. Okay, without the ultra rare card or the master collection card, this you don't have a lot of choices. So some of the options I can use, I have Guardians of Islam, that is a chaotic killer, right? It's an ultimate form. It is Slayer, but it can at least boost other cards. So that, like my other non-event cards can work. I also have Venerable Hong. So like the Venerable Hong also works here. This is where like hindsight 2020, right? Like if you had extra seasonal coins from the last season, and if you had asked me today, it's like, hey, I have all these extras, like what can I do? And knowing what you have here, like it might not have been a terrible idea to get the ultimate form to use in this event. So if you have the ultimate form from this past season, you can use it this event as well. But like I still stand by what I said, and that is, as an ultimate form itself is significantly weaker compared to the other 4 that you could have gotten. And so I just kind of feel like, like it's not too much of a loss. Now the nice thing here is that if I'm boosting all chaotic killers, I could use these cards and I could actually probably cobble something together to help out. It's just that in this particular case, Venerable Hong only increases the chaotic killer attack by 30% at the start, and it goes up by 3% for every 10. So it's not going to be a big boost for Commander, and so it's not going to be too significant. But at least this card does 100% damage. So having this card in here at least will help. If you also have the Dragon, the Sunken Savior Ultimate Form, this is another card. The Ultimate Form is another one that you could use. It's also a commander card, and so this is one that you could use. It's got the overgrowth mechanic where like you basically activate it and you wait for 4 turns, and at the end of 4 turns, all of your power gems double. Right, it's a little bit slow, but it works in a commander event, and it is something that you could use if you don't have anything else. So these are kind of like some of the options. So Midnight Lee, I will help out, but not today. So generally, I don't do a deck building on the preview days. I just wanted to kind of focus on kind of talking about these things, and then I will have a session where I do help you out. So you can either reach out to me or I can check out your cards next time. So let's see. BBX, have I heard of any updates like Guild versus Guild or materials and card counts, etc.? I haven't heard anything that they haven't announced. Like basically, if they haven't announced anything, then it's nothing I can share. But what I do know is that Guild versus Guild should, like, we're ready to it should start soon, like tomorrow, I think. As the event starts, Guild versus Guild will also begin. And I don't know about the Proving Grounds though. The Proving Grounds store hasn't updated, which is unfortunate. If you take a look at the Proving Grounds, there's no new cards. Oh, don't forget to collect your Head Start store. I always forget this, so don't forget to collect that so that you can at least get 50 levels. If you take a look at the Proving Grounds store, it doesn't actually. Proving Ground store is in the Proving Ground. It hasn't actually updated, so I was a little disappointed and I was a little surprised by it, to be honest with you, because I was expecting that this event we could have gotten this would have been the event where we could potentially have gotten the previous Water Dragon Ultimate Form, because like the cards would have been there, and I have the Ultra Rare card. I was looking forward to crafting the Master Collection card so I can actually get the Ultimate Form, but they haven't updated it. So then like. In this case, like I wouldn't recommend doing anything. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend spending the gems right now until we know more, because none of these cards will really help you except for the Water Slayer card. But you don't really want to just create an ultimate form for the Slayer card just for this event. Like I feel like that would be a little bit of waste. And so I don't really feel like this is worth it for you to spend right now. I would just hold off. I would hold off on spending the the coins until a bit later. Like who knows? They might change it and they might actually update the store tomorrow. I don't know. I just feel like without seeing the store being updated, it's not worth spending on any of these existing ones, because we were supposed to see the refresh. We're supposed to see new heroes. We were supposed to be able to keep up with the updates in our killer skills. And so far they haven't delivered on that, right? And so to me, This season is off to kind of a rocky start for me. We have this deck that is okay only if you have the entire team, but it really, really sucks. It's a really crappy deck on its own. It's really not free-to-play friendly. I wouldn't even advise like chasing after it. I would only say just open a couple of packs just so you can get the coins. Like it always is. It's always a good value to open a couple of tiers, no matter what. Even if you don't like the deck, you should open a couple of tiers because of the coins. The coins are what's more valuable here. If you're a VIP, you're getting value too, because you're basically on tier 1, you're tripling the number of cards you get, and then on tier 2, you're doubling. Okay, and so if you take a look at the number of cards that you can pull, tier 1 you get 1 card, tier 2 you get 2 cards, and then tier 3 you get 66%, of your value because you're getting 2 cards instead of 1. So you're definitely getting more value here. Later on, then later on, 2 additional cards is still 2 additional cards, right? So the fact that you can pull 2 more cards and you can get this, I think, in the daily pulls, it is a good benefit. Okay, so that is a good benefit, but this is not the deck that I don't like supporting decks that offer such a difference in the ability to enjoy your event if you don't have the Master Collection card, Ultra Rare card. Like there are decks before where the combination of support card and event cards actually got you somewhere. This one will get you nowhere. Okay, so that's to me a bad thing. Okay, from a deck design perspective, it's a bad thing to have both good and like terrible in the same deck, right? So support card and event card to me are like F grade, worst cards I've seen in Generation 3 era. Just bar none, worst cards. You heard it here. Worst cards don't deserve to be in this deck. I wish that they had added something to it. It makes this whole like value of the entire deck really low. Like I'm gonna rate this as one of the lowest decks right now, like if I can, for this entire season, for this entire duration of the whole year. It's the worst idea to have these 2 cards that most people can only have access to be terrible, right? So to me, I don't see this being a good incentive to chase higher. Like I think having bad support cards and bad event cards is a bad reason to chase after something, so I don't really feel like going further. I'm gonna look for other alternatives to try and survive this event. But to me, honestly, it's like if you have VIP and you happen to get it in a couple of tiers that you've purchased, great, because you're gonna do well. Because the deck as itself, once you have the full ultimate form plus the ultra rare card and the Master Collection card, you're gonna do well. And to be fair, this is a deck where the more ultra rare cards you have, the better you will do. Okay, it's not the other way around. It's not that if you have more Master Collection cards, it's more ultra rare cards, the better. Okay, so if you want to have a full deck, that's what you want to go after. If you don't, then I would say just keep with the basic deck with the Master Collection card and Ultra Rare card. And there are other cards I think that you could put into it that can actually benefit from it. So like there are cards that can actually destroy gems for you. And I think there's Slayer cards, but like there are other cards I'm gonna look through, and there are gonna be options that I think would be better. So, anyways, a little bit of a rant here. I guess that's what I wanted to say here is that I would focus on the deck only if you if you go after a couple of tiers. I'm not sure that it's definitely worth chasing, like spending all of your gems. If you're not VIP, still go after a couple of tiers. But if you're VIP, definitely pull it because you're getting tremendous value here. And then in terms of like something else to look forward to, I think there was something that they've announced in the season here. So I just want to make sure what else they've announced, right? Oh, so the other thing that they've announced is as you go through the bosses, you're also going to gain experience. So these experience points is what's going to help you rank up. So as you rank up, right now we're at 275. Every time you rank up, you get points. And every 50 levels, you get additional gems as well. And like when you hit like milestones like 250, 300, I know that at level 500, I saw somebody show a screenshot. Level 500, you get 2,000 coins, and I think you get like increments of 1,000 after that. So like I think 450 is like 1,800 or 1,900, and kind of work your way down. So my next level that I'm working towards is going to be 300, and this is going to help. Like it's no longer just farming the campaign anymore. You're going to also get experience points from the quests. Okay, so as you go through, killing the bosses, as you collect the quest tokens, you're also going to collect experience points. That's going to help you level up. So that's going to be good. Judge of all, they've also failed to deliver on the Proving Ground store. Exactly, right? For the Gauntlet, you haven't getting stones. Like there are things that they said that they were going to do, they haven't done, and so that is something that I'm not too happy about. So let's see, shiny. So actually, shiny collection cards. I will talk about this. There are things I will talk about. Shiny collection cards definitely will be more powerful. But I guess let me just finish the news feed here. Another thing that you should look forward to is, well, besides the VIP boost, I guess the other thing that they've also changed is the relic affinity is going to be made clear. I guess we can take a look and see if that's actually true, right? So let's take a look at the relics. Let's go ahead and take a look at Chaotic Killer. Something I was looking forward to was, I was going to be able to finally like start combining my Chaotic Killer relics together. And let's see. So like, is this any more clearer that it's a water? I guess they have that little water icon in the bottom that tells you it's a water relic. I'm not sure how this is different, but that's an improvement there. Now, somebody mentioned shiny, right? So the shiny collection, I want to talk about the shiny card as well as the collection heroes here, because that's actually something I think is very important to talk about. I want to make sure I talk about this before I end the stream here. So cards wise, if you get any of these cards, so Mega Sentinel was from the same deck that I kind of like to call Pacific Rim themed deck. This is where it was basically you have the cards that have the mechanic for the Grail, right? The Grail mechanic, Daihomaru, where you could actually, basically create a lot of stacks of, I forget the term now, and then at the end of that, you basically create a bunch of power gems. So those are also really good cards to combine in here, but this card on its own, it only benefits if you have power up. I guess it's stack, right? You have benefits, so you'll want to use this card with power up because you're going to get more power gems with this in addition to your support cards. So it's a decent card. It creates 4 power gems and then additional ones based on your support cards that you bring in. So Daihomaru definitely is a choice. Campos the Indomitable is a kind of a crappy card, if I remember correctly. Right? It basically does this, right? It's a card that it's a support card, right? And all it does is it creates 1 gem for 4 turns straight, and then it casts a overflow status. And this only benefits if you have the ultra rare card or the support or the master collection card from the event. Useless card. Unfortunately, if you get it, it's not going to be very useful, except for the fact that it has a 10 times commander. Wave Mother Meliel is the ultra rare card. So this card is a card that will at least give you some power gems, and also it gives you multiple power gems over the course of 4 turns. But instead of just 1, you can create 3 for 4 turns straight. But it doesn't actually give you 3 immediately. You have to build up your commander killer skill up to 300 in order to do that. So as a card, it's not really that great, but if you've gotten the bioluminescence, then at least you can then now create the the true luminescent card. So I actually, because remember, that was one of the rewards from last season. One of the rewards from last season was bioluminescence, right? Bioluminescence, I think that's the name. I'm going to change this to age. Biolume. Biolume is the card that you earned as a reward from last season. So if you get Mylios, you'll be able to create an ultimate form using that. So that is at least a good thing. So don't forget about that. It is something that you can use. But I would say all 3 of those collection heroes, out of those 3, the only really useful one potentially is going to be Mega Sentinel. Like honestly, and Mylios only because you can at least get the ultimate form here. Campbell's is So like the thing is, you have 25% chance of getting the event card. I don't know I want the event card. I don't know that I want the 25% chance to get the event card that is just going to make me upset because I'm going to just not use it, right? And so the collection cards are kind of meh. I was really hoping that they would have put in, Procambrius. So Procambrius, if you have that card, is a really good card to use. Let me change this up to this order. So Procambrius is a card that I've used in a lot of water commander decks because it also gives you additional damage boost in a different way where the boss takes more damage, and that's actually a really good thing. So this is a card that they would use. It's just that I thought that they would have included as a collections card this event. It would have been good because this would have been a really good card to collect, but I suppose because they chose to use Mylios as the card from this event, that's why they didn't. So that would be the reason why. And instead they picked a card that is just, even if they use Malacostra would have been okay, right? That's the event card from this event, and this at least gives you power gems, right? So collection cards wise, it's not so great. The support card, event cards, trash. Daihomaru, if you have this card, if you have nothing else, you can still use this. Like this card will still give you lots of power gems, and it powers up. You can power up your other cards. So as a free-to-play option, this card does work well in that favor. I think there was a question on whether or not you could just use the Wave Mother Ultimate Form. Yeah, so the Wave Mother Ultimate Form, and that's True Luminescence, right? Yes, you could do that, and that would be this right here. So True Luminescence is a noble killer, so you're not gonna get a lot of killer. You're not gonna get the killer bonus out of it, but as a card, it does have six times commander bonus, and once your skill points goes up high enough, you could at least create 9 gems. It's just that it has a 6-turn cooldown, so it's a little bit slow. Summertime Aphrodite, it can be, right? So Summertime Aphrodite is the card that also does the gem destroy. Let's see if I still kept it. I think I kept it. I believe I kept it. So let's see, special. I think what I got rid of are, oh no, I got rid of all my Summertime Aphrodite because I ran out of space. Yeah, so basically, unfortunately, I don't have those cards anymore because I ran out of space. I got rid of them. So you can actually farm Summertime Aphrodite. We can take a look. Just for those of you who are not familiar with it, this is a card that you can actually pull from the Dust Shop. So if you go to the Dust Shop at the 20 Dust collection for 3-star cards, what you can get, you can potentially get, are these cards. We call them the Barbie deck, or I guess you could also say Baywatch deck, right? So special is where you can see these heroes here, and Summertime Aphrodite, or actually Goddess of the Surf. Goddess of the Surf is one that will also destroy, right? Look, it destroys all non-water gems, and it creates power gem 3s for you. Like this is a card, right? This is a good card. And so this is a card that you could actually use, and I will probably buy her back and then try to farm her a little bit just to show you. And Malfamor, how could you? I had no space. I ran out of space, so that's the reason why. So let's see. BBX, you haven't been playing much because they need you for every deck, and you haven't. They've been releasing the materials, etc. Yeah, there's just a lot of things that you need to. There's a lot of things that's wrong at the beginning of this event. I'm not too happy with the changes so far. So Steve Blake, if you're free to play, you recommend saving up to 1,500 gems for a deck that you want. So that basically gets you up to tier 6, and that's actually a pretty good recommendation. Like you don't have to, like me, I'm spending gems every event because that's what I do. For the purposes of showing what these cards are like. I'm trying to get the deck also just so I can showcase it if possible. But honestly, if you're a free-to-play player and gems are definitely something that you're having a hard time with, saving the gems is good, but there is just that the thing that you're missing out on the coins. That's the only thing that I kind of think about. Like if you were to buy just the basic minimum tiers, you can at least guarantee a full deck, but that's the other way to play, by saving up gems. So like, like up to you, but you don't have to do what I did. That's basically what I'm saying. No, Leah, you're still VIP, but the first tiers gave nothing. Aww. But you did get the ultra rare card tier 6, so that's good. I'm happy to hear that. So Mr. Hawklands, this is a solid deck if they upgrade it to Gen 4. So as a deck itself, it like I don't want to just say it's bad because it isn't. But then again, like depends on your definition of the deck. To me, a deck shouldn't just be always about it's just the ultimate form, master collection card, and ultra rare. Even though we know that once we get the ultimate form, that's all we would use. It shouldn't be that way, right? That deck should just be like, can any part of the deck be useful in some way? To me, the ultra rare, the support card, and the event card in this case, right? I've given you my thoughts on what I think of those cards. To me, they don't belong in this deck. Like, I would have done something different with it. And so to me, this is not a great deck. But if you were able to get the ultimate form, then as a deck itself, yes, it's powerful enough, I think, to do well. And I think with multiple ultra rare cards, you'll be able to get the overkill. It's going to be all about the overkill this event. I will have to say that I don't think that with 1300, I don't think with the 2900 damage boost total, you're going to be able to get 500% overkill. That is going to be my prediction, is that a full deck with just one single ultra rare card is not going to be sufficient to get the 500% overkill. So if that's your thing, if that's something you're hoping to get, I think that it's going to be just like the last event with the Light Commander event. A lot of people will be disappointed when they finally get the deck and find out they can barely get, I'm not even sure they're going to be able to get 300%, to be honest with you. Unless you combine it with other cards that can, like Procambrius, for example, that can like give you that extra boost. By the deck on its own, I don't think you're going to be able to get there. So T. Martinez, you got a question. Is the coins that you got converted to loyalty coins, you're not VIP, can you use those loyalty coins? Yes, because the loyalty store is available. So you can actually get to it through the shop. At the bottom here, you can see loyalty store. This is available to all players, non-VIP included, but anything that has a purple background, you're not going to be able to get. So I cannot actually claim this free gift. So anything that doesn't have the background. So like, you know, this is something I have mentioned to the dev team, and that is trading those seasonal coins for loyalty store coins doesn't feel equivalent to me. It doesn't actually feel like it's the same, because these are the things that we can get. Yes, we can get some shards, right, for wisps. We can get tears, golem heart. These are things that we can farm, okay, and we can use dust to purchase. As a non-VIP, we can't actually get Pentar shards anyway, okay, and we can get Ascendant Essence that we can get already. The only thing that exactly has talked about was these Ascension Stones. The only thing that we can't get are Ascension Stones and the Skull Shards. But honestly, like, Skull Shards are only useful if you want to, you know, if you want to craft Legend cards, Ascended Legends. And Ascension Stone is important for ascending your Wardens. Okay, so that is one thing that is important. But is that as good as being able to craft an Ultimate Form or a Master Collection card? I don't think so, right? I would take another Ultimate Form, or I would take another potential Ultimate Form any day. Like, my recommendation was actually, let us carry over 42. Like, let's say we had saved up like 50. Okay, let us carry over 42 of them. We don't have to carry over everything. If the concern is that we're going to build up too much, well, do like this kind of a limited rollover, right? Rollover just some, so that we can at least use it for the water event, right? So like, we're never going to be able to use the coins to craft a water ultimate form with this system. But if we rolled over 42 coins, then we can. All right, so that was my suggestion, but that wasn't, that suggestion was not heeded. So I can just say that, right? They heard me, but the decision was to use the loyalty store. And so it's, you know, it is what it is. So water events, basically, we've talked about this. We knew it was going to happen. Not going to be possible without spend or getting lucky in the earlier tiers, because there's no way to use our coins. And so that is something to keep in mind. And yes, you can always go back and purchase them. But in this particular case, this water event deck is a chaotic killer card that will not be useful moving forward. Okay, we're not going to have another water chaotic Slayer event for a very long time. So this card is going to be non-useful, because literally by the time that I think the next Water Chaotic Killer skill comes around, something else will change. We're not going to want to come back and use this ultimate form. I wouldn't want to use this ultimate form anyway. I think that there's going to be better decks. So, long story short, I think that this is a deck that will work simply because it will be powerful enough to take out most of the bosses, but it's not going to be an overpowering boss that's going to be able to easily take out the 500% ultimate, the ultra kill bosses. It's going to require multiple copies of ultra rare cards, or you're going to have to be creative and find other cards that can really boost chaotic killer bonus. And so that's something that we're going to explore, and we're going to think about it. What is in the VIP store? I cannot actually access the VIP store anymore, but it's going to be things like essences, and you can get cards and whatnot. And there's like a unique shop that refreshes only after you level up. When I say level up in VIP level. So you can't really, it's nothing that great. Like you can get some, you can get essences, you can get also potions. You can get potions and essence and other things in the VIP store, but it's okay. Like I still think that they need to add more to it. So let's see. There was a question. I guess I already answered it. Okay. And T Martinez, you can always use a Water Honor deck ultimate form and see an ultra rare card, but they are Slayers. Yeah, it's okay to use Slayers. It's just that if the Slayer card is not a killer skill that's for this event, you're gonna want to incorporate. I would say incorporate Keta in this case, because like in the situations where you're using a card that's non-killer bonus, you're really limiting, and you're using Slayer, then you're really, really limiting on the amount of damage that it can actually deal. And so something like, using water, so like, for example, if you use Keta as a leader, this card at least gives you a boost to water hero. So it doesn't matter. So you at least get some of that bonus. But it's just that if you want to use an ultimate form from Slayer in the event that doesn't have the killer bonus, you're then making sure, like, you have to make sure that you're bringing a card that can be a really good power gem spawner. Like that's the support. You want to bring something that can really, really create a lot of power gems and help you at least deal some damage for your chaotic killer cards. This is where, yes, the support card sucks, but the thing I hate about it is I still need to use it because they have the 400% bonus boost, right? And so you still need those cards in order to deal the most damage, but on their own they're not going to do anything, so you need other cards to help out. So T Martinez, if you have the chaotic option, then yes, you should definitely bring that in. And that is going to help. So let me see. Do I have that? So type of chaotic killer. You're talking about this last Slayer deck, right? Yes. So this is the deck that I was mentioning that you can bring in, and you can, if you have the ultimate form, then you're getting a 900% damage boost. So you're actually going to do really well just by bringing the ultimate form in, and then throw in other commander cards. This is where the killer skill. This is why I recommend it. Like whenever possible, you should always favor getting an ultimate form within a season rather than an additional card, because you never know, you might be able to use that particular ultimate form to help you in the event where you don't have the killer bonus. And so that's something to consider. Yeah, the older Honor Slayer card that does have it as well. You can get this. You're talking about the Guardian Islam. Yes, these are the two Slayer decks I mentioned that you can bring in here. So Angel 111, thanks for sharing the contents of the VIP store. So Mr. Hawklands, the Sunken Savior card. So I was talking about like the Proving Grounds. If they were to refresh the content, then I would have expected that particular Master Collection card to be available. Now, what I don't know is whether or not that card is going to be available in the Drillfist Steel Depot. Right, so what we've seen so far is we've seen these cards being offered as an option to purchase. If I can actually get my hands on the Master Collection card, I probably will, just because it's actually something that will help me with this event. So right now it's the Fire Piggies, and I think timing wise, it should actually be the Malakastra Master Collection card deck. So by Saturday, there's an opportunity that might actually allow me to create a Master Collection card. I'll decide at that point whether that's going to be something I can use as well. So there are ways around this. So things to look forward to for this event, right? Like if you don't have the deck, there are still some options for you. I think you can probably farm some things in the dust shop, right? Using the dust merchant, go to the 3-star hero one and farm for the Goddess of the Surf. That is a card that will be a good power gem spawner as well as a gem destroyer. Using Procambrias in conjunction with some other cards that give you power gems, that's going to be good as well. Potentially bringing in your other ultimate forms like your Guardians of Islam is good, or the previous Auspicious Defenders is also really, really good. Right? Auspicious Defenders ultimate form will be a good one to use. Mount Fillmore, or you can skip the event and take a much needed break. That's definitely an option as well, right? So you don't collect the trophies. So for those of you who don't know, if you don't collect any trophies at all within the event, then you will not drop rank, right? So whatever league you're in, if you don't collect any points at all, no trophies, that means collect 0 trophies, then you're actually guaranteed to remain in your league until the next event. Some people have done that when they needed a break. I've certainly done that when I've gone on vacation. So, just to be fair, that is something that you can do. Steve Blake, will we be able to purchase another selection card from TPG store this season, or is that one time ever? So it reset. It actually did already reset, but the content hasn't refreshed. So I was kind of hoping that it would reset, but I don't know the likelihood that they're going to reset the store because it's available now. But there's always that possibility when the actual Proving Grounds opens up that they then change the content inside. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that's what's going to happen. But as of right now, they reopened the store and you can't actually get any of the new stuff. And as usual, you can only get one item this event, this season, right? Because you only have one choice. So within the next 33 days, whatever you purchase, that's it for the next 33 days. So that's why I suggest holding off and only purchase it if we confirm, right? If we confirm that they will definitely not refresh the store, then you can buy whatever you want because it doesn't matter. It's going to just go away anyway. But if they will refresh the store, then I will definitely want to hold off until they refresh because those cards are going to be useful for us to be able to craft potentially an ultimate form that could be useful in the case that we don't get one. So that'll be my recommendation for this. So these are some of the things to kind of look forward to. All in all, not a huge fan so far. I have to say, like, the last couple events, I was much more happy about like the way things are going. This event, it's kind of off to a shaky start with the deck itself and just kind of with like the Proving Grounds not changing. But if you're VIP, you're actually getting some good value. So there's good and bad. For non-VIP players, I feel for you. It is definitely it's definitely you can feel it, right? It definitely isn't a great place to be unless you get lucky. And so what to expect from me, since I don't have the deck, I'm not going to be able to showcase like how to use the deck actually. So what I'll focus on is probably some alternative deck ideas based on some of the cards that I can come up with, so we can try it out. So me, myself, and 1100, you think it's going to be the true Luminescence deck? I see. Yeah, potentially. I couldn't remember the exact ordering. So if that's the case, then that's not something it's not going to be useful for me because I already have the whole ultimate form. I can get it to 2-star though. If you see, I could actually because I collected that, right? I collected that from was it Noble Killer, I think, because I collected it from the rewards last season. And if I get that card this as my 25% pull, then I'll be able to get a 25 get it to 2-star, which brings it up to 600% for the next time Noble Killer's around. But I will probably have other options there, so we'll see how things go. A pick. Let's see. You got a Twin Flame Fire in the top of the deck and can loyalty. Cool. Okay. So Steve Blake, you've never been VIP, you used to have a good time. That's a great way to think about it. I'm glad you're having a good time. So that's that's good. And yes, Mr. Hoglands, you cannot roll over coins. You could roll over the tokens that you use to purchase the coin, but once you purchase the coin, you have to use it because it doesn't roll over. That is something that is really unfortunate, because they make it so you cannot buy 2 cards within the same season. So that is also really a shame. Me personally, if I don't get it, if they don't refresh the content, something that I was thinking about getting is I could actually get the Fire Kitty Ultimate form, because I have Splintered Back Stalker. So that is something that I've always kind of thought about. Like I've always really liked the art of Unbound Marionetta, and so I could at least get the Ultimate form there. Another option that I could also go for would be this card right here, so that I could get Sweet Savior, another card that I really enjoy the event art. So I could actually get the Ultimate form there. So I haven't decided just yet, but it all depends on whether or not they update the store. So anyways, that's going to be it for me for today. Hopefully this has been helpful for you in deciding what you want to do for this event and some of the things to look forward to. And also provide feedback. Please provide feedback on just how much you dislike the support card and the event cards. I really don't want to see this kind of cards again in future decks. It's just disheartening to see for people that don't get lucky. And like I said, forcing people to do deck building because the deck sucks the cards suck is not really a good motivator. And so provide those feedback in the event review, in the official Legendary channels, in the network chat. Give those feedback, let them know, and just we have to let them know that these are things that make a player experience really bad. I definitely will give that feedback as well within my channel of communication. We'll see how things go. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Enjoy your event, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. See ya.